Shireen here, and welcome to the day 4 of the Daily Creative Challenge for Adobe Premiere Pro. Today's challenge is glitch transitions. It is going to be so much fun, and I cannot wait to dive into this challenge with you all. Let's hop on over to the landing page, and for those of you who are new, let me walk you through the challenge. So over here, if you go to Hi, Take the Challenge, you can press this button, and you'll receive daily notifications when we go live to join the challenge. Then if you go down here, you can press the link for the community chat where you can join our Discord. And this is going to allow you to give feedback to others in the community, submit your work for feedback, and just really be a part of our happy little family over here. So this is what it looks like. Once you go to Discord, here is our challenge chat, and we've got some challenges in here, and you can also introduce yourself in the introductions chat. So now if we go back to this landing page, you can see here we have the challenges from the previous days. So if you press watch video, you can catch up on those videos. And if you press get started, you can download the assets to follow along with the challenge. So today is going to be glitch transitions. Create custom glitch transitions using the effects controls panel. So let's hop on over into Premiere and get started. So here we are in Premiere. Today I'm in my own custom workspace. And if you're not familiar with how you can customize your workspace, it's really easy. So all of these different options up here, like effects, effect controls, you can click these and drag them around to wherever you want. Like let's say you want it over here, you can do that. But let's just drag that back over here. And if you don't have these options, no problem. You can just go up to Window and then select whichever panel you want, and it'll pop up into your workspace and you can drag it wherever you want. So today, we're going to be, first off, starting with an adjustment layer. So I'm going to go over here to my project panel, and you'll see I already have an adjustment layer in here. But if you don't have one, here's how you can add one. You're going to press this icon right here for new item. So once you press it, it'll give you all these options. We're going to press adjustment layer, and then it'll give you this panel right here where you can adjust the video settings. So right now it is set to 1920 by 1080, which is perfect. That is what we need. And it's going to be set to 23.976 frames per second, and the pixel aspect ratio is square pixels, and that's perfect. That's what we need. So from here, you can press OK, but since I already have one, I'm just going to press cancel. So now I'm going to go back to my project panel, select this adjustment layer, and then drag it over to my timeline. So now you see we have this long adjustment layer. Basically, a good way to think about this is as if you have an empty layer for you to add effects onto. So right now, you see if I scrub through this footage, there's nothing additional that's on top of here because we haven't added anything yet. So let's say we want to do a glitch transition, right? Let's go ahead and first trim this clip so that, or this adjustment layer rather, so that it'll allow us to have a nice tight pacing for a transition. So let's say we want to transition from this clip to this clip. So what we're going to do is just drag in the sides of this adjustment layer. So we'll bring it over, and there's no science to this, but just try to keep it pretty short because you want this transition to be relatively short. So I'm just going to drag it in a little bit more, and we'll play around with this time frame. So let me zoom into my timeline a little bit, just so you can see a little bit better. So now what we want to do is go over to our effects. So within here, you have all these different options. We're going to go into video effects. So we'll press this drop down, and then we will go down to immersive video. So in here, you see you have all these cool options, and there's digital glitch, chromatic aberrations. So we're going to start with chromatic aberrations. We're going to drag this over to the adjustment layer and then let go. And just like that, you have now added the VR chromatic aberrations to your adjustment layer. So if we go over to our effect controls, you'll see that right here it says VR chromatic aberrations. And underneath it, you have all these different options for toggling with the settings of this effect. So if I go like this, you'll see the colors are changing. And then there's a channel for red, green, and blue. So you can adjust all of these to your liking if you just keep toggling these numbers. So then you see how right now, all of those glitch effects are kind of targeted towards the center of the clip. If you check this box for fall off invert, it'll get rid of that and it's not going to be going towards the center. So this is up to you if you want it to be going towards the center or not. Let me know in the chat which one you prefer, and we'll go with that one. Speaking of the chat, let's see who we got today. There's Jessica, Valdair, Sam, Umacorn. So nice to see you all again. Mercurial, Ruth, Christelle. Hello, everyone. Monica. We've got Paco, LB. Hello, hello. All right. So just so you can see once again, this is without it checked and this is with it checked. So let me know in the chat. For now, I'm just going to keep it going towards the center. I think that looks pretty cool. So from here, let's start adding keyframes so that we can animate this effect. Because if we look at it right now, it's all static. There's nothing really super interesting going on. So we're going to start over here towards the beginning of this clip. And we'll go over here and we'll just add keyframes by pressing this icon right here. It kind of looks like a stopwatch. So boom, boom, boom. For the red, green, and blue channels, we now set keyframes. And that just means it's going to lock in whatever numbers we have here at that specific point in time. So now if we tab over one frame, we can now change these. So let's just randomly mess with these. There's really no rhyme or reason to this. So sure, that looks cool. We'll tab over one more frame and we'll continue to do this throughout the adjustment layer for the duration of the adjustment layer. So we'll just keep doing this. Isn't this cool? This is such an easy way to just instantly add some fun to your transitions. And I'll show you something else that's pretty cool. So you see how we have all these keyframes here now, right? You can actually go like this and select all of them just by pressing down and dragging over the keyframes. And then let's press Option and you can duplicate these over. So if you want this to basically go in reverse order, we can just keep doing that. And we'll do this again. And now you basically have a transition that is going to be the same up until the halfway point, and then it'll reverse itself. So let's look at that.
Smooth skin and a healthy.
Okay, it's really quick, but just keep an eye out for it. Let's watch that again.
Smooth skin.
Okay, and that's perfect. That's really all we need. You don't want this to drag on for too long. So now from here, let's continue to add some more effects. So we're going to go back over here to Effects. And then let's go to Digital Glitch. So I'm going to select this and then drag and drop it over the adjustment layer again. So now you see we have this really cool glitch effect going on. But if we scrub through the footage, just like the previous effect, it's not moving. So we need to go back and animate that by adding keyframes. So we'll go back to our effect controls. And then if we just scroll down a little bit more, you'll see that now the VR digital glitch has been added to our effect controls, and we can also add keyframes to these different properties. So we'll go back here and just mess with it. To start, we'll just set keyframes for all of these again, and then we'll tab over. And for this one, you don't really have to go one keyframe. Honestly, for the other one, for the chromatic aberrations, you don't have to go frame by frame either. You can space them out if you want to. You could have 3 keyframes throughout the whole thing, 2 keyframes. It's really up to you. But I find that for the glitch, the more you have with the chromatic aberrations, the kind of cooler it looks. So let's right here start to just mess around with these different settings, and we'll see what it looks like. So we'll scale this up. Or actually, let's scale it maybe down a little. And then we'll do that. And then maybe something like that. And then we'll scroll over and let's just drag this master amplitude a little bit more. And then the master amplitude again. And we'll just see what that looks like. So let's give this a look.
Smooth skin and a
Okay, not enough glitchiness going on in my opinion. So let's continue to add some more keyframes to this and we'll just make it super random. So let's do point of interest. We'll mess with that. And then we'll do some more. And let's just toggle with these other ones as well. Okay. And then if you go down, you'll see that we also have these different properties for distortion. So let's start to mess around with those a little bit too. So we'll go back over to the beginning around here, and we'll just set all of these keyframes to start. And then we'll go through a little bit and we'll start to change them. So if we take this one over, you'll see the glitch effect is starting to change a little bit. And then we'll do the one below it. And then we'll go over a few more frames and we'll continue to change those properties. All right, and then we'll go over to the end and we'll just do a few other random ones. The cool thing about glitch is that you really can't go wrong with it because it's glitch. There's no wrong way to do it. So let's look at this.
Smooth skin and a
Cool. So I'll just scrub through this so you can see it a little bit slower. It's going from this glitchiness to becoming more of like a fine glitch towards the end, just like that. So if you want it to look more distorted like this in the beginning too, you can just go back over to the beginning, and then let's say somewhere around here, you can just toggle this one over a little bit more, and you'll get more of that super fine, almost grainy looking glitch. So let's look at this.
smooth skin and a
Nice. So now let's just zoom this out a little bit. And if you want to apply this effect to another part of the timeline, you can just press Option and drag over this adjustment layer. And now just like that, you also have another glitch effect applied over, for example, these two clips. So let's take a look.
ground coffee are
So if we keep doing that, we can just press Option, go over here, and let's just take a look at the whole thing real quick.
Need a coffee break? We
got
won't
the
milk
glitch.
it, but
Looks
our
really
sugar
cool.
scrub is the best. Made with
Then we're gonna
ultra-fine
have
ground
another
coffee,
glitch
our scrub gives you instant
and
smooth skin
another
and a
glitch.
healthy glow. Try
And
it for
just like
yourself.
that, you've easily
Get
added a
coffee.
really cool
Drunk
glitch
elephant.
effect. But we can continue to take this up a notch. So let's go back and I will show you how to just add some extra oomph to your transition. So let's say you want this clip right here to spin into this one while having this glitch effect. So what we're going to do first is select this clip right here, this first one. And then we are going to go back to the effect controls. So you want to go towards the end of the clip. And then from here, just tab back using the arrow keys about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. Like 4 to 5 frames is usually the sweet spot for this. So you want to set your position and scale keyframes just the way they are, and then go forward 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. So now from here, we're going to scale this up to, let's start with 200 and we'll see what that looks like. And then we're actually going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 frames, and then we'll set a keyframe for the rotation. So we'll do 0, and then we'll go back over here about 4 frames, and then we'll change this rotation to 90 degrees. So now let's tab through this end part. All right, this is what I was looking for. So you see how we have these black areas right here. If I take off this transition, let's just hide that real quick, that layer. You'll see we have these black areas on the frame, and we don't want that. We want the footage to completely cover the screen. So what we're going to do is go back over to the effect controls, and then for scale right here, for this last keyframe, let's just scale this up to 400. All right, so now if we tab back through this footage, hopefully we won't have any black areas. So let's see, looking good. Okay, perfect. So now let's just toggle back on this transition layer, and we'll go over to the next clip right here. So we'll just press and we'll just drag our cursor over, and then we're just going to do the same thing but in reverse. So over here we have the first frame, and we're going to set our keyframes, but we're going to start with a scale of 400. And then our rotation, we will set to minus 90 degrees. And then we'll tab forward 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. And then we'll take the scale back to 100 and then the rotation to 0. So now let's tab through this second clip and we'll see if we have any of those black areas on the corners. So nope, we are looking good. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so let's take a look at this transition.
Smooth skin and a healthy glow.
Boom. It looks
Smooth
so
skin
good.
and a healthy glow.
Let me know in the chat if you have tried this before. So now let's try a different sort of transition. Let's say we want it to go from this clip to this clip, but we want it to punch in a little bit instead of rotate. So again, we're going to add keyframes. So let's select this clip, and then we'll go back over to our effect controls. And just like last time, we're going to go towards the end of this clip. So I'll just use my arrow keys. And okay, so right there is our last frame. And so let's go back 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. And from here, we will set our scale to 100 as the keyframe. And that's all we're going to do. And then we'll tab back over 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. And let's just set this to 400. So now we will go over to the next clip and then do the same thing, but in reverse. So this is our first frame. We will set our scale to 400. And then we'll tab over 1, 2, 3, 4, and set this to 0. Wait, not 0, 100. Okay, there we go. And then let's take a look at that.
Find ground coffee, our
Cool.
scrub.
And let's take a look at that one more time because I know this goes really fast.
To find ground coffee,
all right,
our scrub
nice.
gives you.
There we go. So that is a really fun way to add glitch transitions. And you can get really creative with the way that you go from clip to clip, right? Like you can spin into it, you can push into it. Let's go back to this one where we did the rotation. And let me show you the difference between going from 90 to minus 90 for rotation and 90 to 90. And we'll see which one you prefer. So right now, this one is set to minus 90. So we'll just change this to 90. And let's look at that.
Smooth skin and a.
So it's pretty subtle, right? But it definitely makes a difference. And if you watch very carefully, it almost looks like it's struggling a little bit in the center, right? Let me make this full screen and you can see what I'm talking about.
Smooth skin.
Like it almost pauses for a second. That's why I like doing minus 90. It just allows for a smoother spin, in my opinion. Christian asks, are you using a Premiere Pro effect for the glitch? Yes. So if you go up here to effects and you go to video effects, you can just press down on this folder, go to immersive video, and then in here we use the VR chromatic aberrations and the VR digital glitch effects. And there are also so many other effects. If we type in up here in the search bar, glitch, you can see that. Why is it not working? Let's try this again. Well, there's more effects. I don't know why it's not showing right now. But if you type in glitch, you can see all the different glitch effects. But let's just go back over here to immersive video. You can also add all these different effects that are within here, and they will continue to give you really cool effects. I mean the RGB displacement, Christian says. Yes, so that RGB displacement is the VR chromatic aberration. So if we go over here to effect controls, and let me just tab over a few frames, you can see that if I just mess with any of these different channels, it will start to distort the different RGB layers, or channels rather. So that's how you do that. And let's go back and we'll just continue to change this keyframe, this first one, to -90, just to allow for a smoother transition. So let's look at this.
Smooth skin and a healthy.
So that's looking really nice to me. Let's continue to add a few more glitch effects, just because we have options and why not? So let's say we want to do fractal noise. Let's add this one. So we'll go over to Effect Controls, and let's just mess with this and see what it does. So maybe this isn't exactly what we want, but if we reduce the opacity, it can be. Because you don't want it to be like overtaking your glitch effect, you just want it to add to it a little bit. So we'll change the opacity, maybe like to a 20%, and then we'll press this keyframe right here, and then we'll go over, and let's say somewhere towards the middle, you just want it to intensify a little bit. So we'll do 40%, and then we'll bring it back over, then we'll do 20%. So now if we look at that, it just has kind of like a bit more haziness to it. If you want your glitch to be
smooth skin
not so overpowering, front and center, this is a way to kind of just lessen the glitch and add a bit more haziness to it. Now, if we go back over to effects, we can continue to add different effects in here. So let's do color gradients. And then we'll go over to Effect Controls, and then we'll go down a little bit, and then let's continue to mess with these settings. So we'll do something like 20% for gradient power. We'll set a keyframe, and then for the blend, let's do 40. And then for opacity, again, we'll drop it down to 20, and we'll set a keyframe. And then we'll just go over a few more, and let's change the gradient power, intensify it a little bit. And then for the gradient blend, we will also just change that a little. And then let's bring opacity, actually, let's keep it at 20. And then somewhere in between these two, we'll add a keyframe and we'll bring the opacity up. So now let's take a look at that.
Smooth skin.
So that's just a way to add a bit more color to it, but it's kind of overpowering it. So we'll drop this down to 30. And we might even get rid of it, but it is a cool way to add a bit more color to your glitch transition. So I think I'm actually going to get rid of fractal noise. So to do that, you're just going to right click and press clear, and now you got rid of it. So don't worry if you come across any sort of effects that you don't like, you can always get rid of them just like that. And if you want to get rid of keyframes too, same thing, you can just highlight them and then press delete, and now they're gone. And we'll just get rid of color gradients too. We'll right click on the effect and press clear. So now we are left with this effect right here, which is just the chromatic aberrations and the digital glitch. So let's take a look at the whole thing one more time and see what it looks like with these.
Need a coffee break?
You see, it really helps to tie in
but our sugar scrub is the best.
That we went over the other day.
Fine ground coffee,
really
our scrub gives you instant smooth skin and a healthy glow. Try it for yourself. Get coffee. Drunk elephant.
Let's hop on over to Discord and take a look at what is going on in our challenge chat. So over here, Mercurial has submitted some kittens again. So much fun.
Need a kitten break? You know you do. Come on down. Need a kitten break? You know you do. Come on down to Kitties and Cakes Gluten-Free Cat Cafe for all of the kitty cuddles you can handle. Today only, get one free cinnamon roll with every adoption.
That's so cute. I love it. An amazing use of captions. So cute. We also have another challenge submitted from Kai. Let's take a look at this one.
Brew a coffee, oppose without milk. What our sugar scrub is bad. Our scrub gives you clear skin. Wash your hands on a healthy glow. No effort. Just not try.
So well done. I love it. Y'all are crushing it with the captions. And then let's take a look at this one. Dorina's day 2. Nice use of Mogerts. I love the outro, and you did such a good job fitting in this picture for the Mogert. Keep it coming, y'all. You guys are doing such an amazing job. And I will see you here tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. PST for day 5 of the challenge. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.